So massive developments. Obviously, a couple of years back, we took the decision to try for the North West Counties. We managed to pass the ground grading recently. We've done a lot of work on the ground. New stands, we've got fencing in, player walkways, passed the criteria, and literally a few weeks back, we got announced that we're in the North West Counties North. Massive excitement for the football club.
It's just exciting for the club to experience these new things. The club's been around for 115 years and this is the highest step of football it's ever played in.
A few years back, when I kind of moved upstairs, I approached Matt Atherton, who was an ex-player who'd been playing at Runcorn Linnets for 10 years, about possibly managing the football club. He was interested, but said that he wanted us to show a bit of ambition, so he would be interested if we'd look to push on. So promised Matt that we'd give it a go. He's done everything on the field. Matt wanted to get in the North West Counties of the football club, and we felt the time was right. We had 20 years in the West Lancs League, and to progress, it's a big commitment for us. But we've managed to get there in the end. 20 years is a long time in one league, but excited about moving on to Step 6 football and kind of semi-pro.
I think it was a step we needed to take as a club. I think the progression of non-league football means that you're not seen or recognised as much in the Step 7, and now with Step 6 already we're seeing that in the way that social media's gone and things like that. But we're a massive club. We've got 40 junior sides. I think we're one of the biggest in the North West, so we needed to have a first team which challenged and can enter the FA Cup, the FA Vars, and make sure that we have that pathway for the juniors to come through, and that's what's really exciting.
The first change, actually surprisingly, was we had to widen the pitch by a couple of yards, which was a bit of a stunner. So we had to take a barrier down, the pitch was widened, we had to put some new drainage in, then we had to have little covered areas, that walkways we had to put in, there could have been no loose chippings inside the ground, we had to have extra fencing. One of the first things they did was put a pay station in. We needed a covered stand for 50 people. So the checklist for the counties was quite intensive, but at the end of the day, there's a level of ground grading that we've got to get there. So then we had to apply for floodlights, planning permission. We actually bought some lights on a blind bid from a school, which we've got to the ground as well. So we've put planning in for lights. That took a bit of time, and eventually they come back and help you along the way, tick another box, do things slowly. It's probably taken a good 18 months, 2 years to get to this level. It was a long plan, but we got there.
Well, I mean, I've always kept in touch with Mark, who's been the manager here. He was manager for over 20 years. I played for him as a youngster at 16, 17, and then I went away and played elsewhere, higher up. And that was probably why I had the passion for Exton Villa to step up, because I had to move to have those experiences and to do those things I've already mentioned. And I didn't get that chance here, and now players can have that chance. And when Mark was thinking of stepping down as manager, he got straight onto me. I'd just finished at Runcorn in Step 5, and we just won the league there. And he said about the vision of the 5-year plan of moving into the North West Counties, and it really suited me for where I was at the time. I just turned 30, just moved jobs as well closer to home. I live 5-10 minutes around the corner. So yeah, the last 3 years it took us, and we've had COVID and everything else to battle through, but that was the journey we've been on, and we can't wait for the next 5 years.
So now I think everybody's got to raise our game, so we're semi-professional. Obviously the squad will probably change, we'll have to get some new players in. We're kind of recruiting for volunteers. I think the finances is very important, match day operations, we've got to ramp everything up, and I suppose we're now a small business, we've got things to sort about. Certainly off the field's massive. We've got 7 or 8 volunteers. They're brilliant in the shop, running the shop, doing the stewarding, doing the car parking. There's a lot more admin now. We need a match day secretary. So we are reaching out, and a lot of people are doing lots of jobs. So there's 1 or 2 volunteers that we're looking to recruit. We're getting a media team together. We're getting the social media ramping up. But also great, we've got some new sponsors joining as well for kit and tracksuits and things. And I think there's a lot of excitement. We've got in this league, and it's putting us on the map in football. So yeah, there's lots to do, never ending.
It was never intentional, but I know that there was so much going on behind the scenes over the last, it's been 24 months really when the work started, and everything that's gone on in the world as well. It's meant that we've had to get lads down who've done jobs for us for free and painting things and laying flagging and things like that. So it's been a massive job. And I think sadly that did affect us playing wise. I felt we probably missed out on certain things. We had a few injuries, a few other factors, but ultimately the best team in the league wins it, and it wasn't us this year, so we finished 3rd. But the good thing about that, it gives the lads the hunger again, because we've got a great group. We've got a squad of players who can go and challenge and do well in the North West Counties. And I think not winning something this year is giving them the passion and the drive to go and win something next year. We'll hopefully do as well as we can, and at the very least stay up in the counties.
We just thought, ready to move on. Step 6, not this season, but next season could be in the FA Vars, win the Lancashire Trophy, hopefully playing teams like Southport and Bamber Bridge. And I think just being more professional. I think that the counties is a great league. You look at some of the teams that have been in recently, like Bury and Macclesfield and stuff, and it's exciting to meet these new teams. And I just think everything's at a better level, isn't it? Off the field we've got to be better. On the field we're looking to recruit and add to the squad we've got already. So I think from being on the football pyramid, from a football club that's come from the Preston League and the West Lancs League, it's a massive step, but something we're looking forward to.
I think we've got to be savvy with player recruitment in that when we're going into a league as the kind of underdogs, if you like, and I know there'll be bigger budgets, there'll be bigger teams, but what they can't rival is what we have here in terms of the quality of facilities, the youth setup, and the way the club's run. We run it professionally, and that's how we recruit. And I'm one of those managers who I know as I can get a player down to here and they experience it and see what we do, then they're here, they'll stay, and most of our players stay for quite a long time. But the beauty of it is that we've got a good group. We've got 12, 13 players who are ready to go and step into the North West Counties straight away. So we only really need to supplement that with 3 or 4 good players who are better than what we've got. And that's the battle for us, because we don't have a budget, we don't spend money on players, we don't do that side of things, where there will be teams in this league that do that. So we've got to make sure that we give them everything else off the field so that they feel on the field they can do the best job for us.
Get at it! Get at it!
I think at some point I'm going to have to look at stepping back from playing as well. I'm 33 now and it's been brilliant, and I'm hoping I can do one more year, feel my fitness, and I played a lot of football last season, but I feel I can still add something to the group, but probably less. Probably the fact is that I need to be doing more off the field, on the sideline, supporting the coaching team. And I think already I've felt a change in how much more off the field work there is to do, and raise the profile of the club and do everything we can to put us in the best place possible. We've got a bigger project on at the club in the next 18 months where we want to build a 3G. We need to raise £150,000. We've got £1 million project on our hands, which will be massive for the club, and that's not just for us, that's for every junior side, boys and girls, and it'll make the club grow and expand. And I genuinely believe the next 10 years this could be a really thriving business, as well as being a hotbed for young footballers, and that's what me and Mark see, and that's what we need to try and do. And I'll try and do that on the field with success, but also off the field wherever I can.
The club has got massive ambitions. It's not common knowledge, but we're going to start telling people shortly. So the future of the club, we're talking to the Football Foundation at the moment, and the FA and the LFA. So eventually the plan is to get a full-size 3G pitch on the main pitch, so it's called the Football Development Fund. we're talking to the guys already. There's been quite a bit of work in place, so we're going to convert this to a full-size 3G. We're going to expand the clubhouse. We're going to have new facilities, a new conference room. We're going to have banqueting suites, that kind of thing. All going to be sort of geared up to be a small business. So that's the next stage. So next season, stable ourselves in the counties. Have a steady season, look to do okay. If we can push in the top half, that'll be great. But the plan of the football club running 40 plus teams now, it's a huge organisation, and for the future we're just going to look to try and raise everything, bigger clubhouse, become more self-financing, and eventually be push on ambition, I suppose, is to get in the counties prem whenever that might be, and maybe a couple of years time, and I think try and push on from there.
I mean, first and foremost, we've got to stay in the counties. We can't afford to drop back down. I mean, there's 18 teams and 3 of those go down, so it will be a challenge. But then you look around the league, you look at the teams in it, and we think, why can't we go and do well? Why can't we go and challenge for the playoff places? Why can't we go to sides and win games, especially as underdogs? I think that'll suit us. So there's no target, there's no point total. It's just to work as hard as we can, do everything we can to make sure that we challenge. And yeah, if it means that we can get up and around the playoffs, then so be it. But at the very least, we stay in that league and we build and progress, ready to go again next year.
Personally, for me, been at the club a long time, 35 years. We've got some guys that have been here 40, 50 years as well. Huge commitment for us. We've got new people coming on board as well, which is fantastic. And hopefully we're going to reach out to the whole community. We're going to get the juniors involved. We're going to have match day mascots and people coming down, and hopefully enjoy ourselves in this league. It's been a fantastic journey, and looking forward to it.